So what's really going on here? Is the NFL pulling strings behind the scenes to humble Primetime and his son? Or is this just cold, cutthroat business where Shadura didn't earn that top spot yet? Let's not forget, Shadura Sanders was once hyped as a top 3 pick, first-round money, future franchise QB type buzz. But all that hype crashed when he fell all the way to pick 144, like scooped by the Cleveland Browns. That slide turned heads fast and sparked a wildfire of drama, blame, and big accusations.
Bro,
this shows Black America art that white folks always stick together when they feel like their power is
Oh my
threatened.
God,
See,
dude.
they never got a chance. They never got a chance to punish Deion as a player. Deion was his own man.
What?
He said how he felt. He did what he wanted to do. He survived the plantation. I believe, allegedly, that the NFL owners got together. And I do believe that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe, allegedly,
He's a racist.
was also involved on this scandal to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Shadura on draft day.
God.
I believe that all 32 NFL team owners
All of them.
and their executives and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe they all came together in a KK Ku Klux Klan type of clandestine meeting, and they decided, allegedly, I believe, that they were going to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son. And by the way, everybody watched the draft to see where Shadura was going. Cam Ward went 1. Travis went 2. The only person left, Art, to watch to see where they fell was who? Shadura Sanders.
And Abdul Carter went 3 to the Giants.
So guess what? No team selected him in the first round. Even teams that needed a starting quarterback and teams that needed a good backup quarterback.
Nobody's going to spend a first-round pick on a good backup quarterback, you moron. There's no, shut the fuck up. No team is going to pick a good backup quarterback in the first round.
Second round comes.
They're
No
not going to do that
teams
either.
again.
Not even in the second round.
Third round comes.
Not even in the third round.
No teams again. This was the NFL plantation slave masters.
The plantation slave masters of the NFL. That's what he describes this situation as. It's
Plantation slave masters coming together
This is so dumb.
to remind Deion Sanders, Shadura Sanders, and Black America that you have no say-so here. You have no power here. And if you ever think that you are our equal,
I think the slave season, I'm sorry, the football season starts sometime in September, OJ, just to answer your question. And by the way, I think this is like paying me $1 million to play a game that I love. That sounds like slavery to me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it sounds like slavery to me. Pay me millions of dollars as a black man to play a sport that I love. Sounds like slavery.
we will destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Art, by
plantation slave owners.
sabotaging Shadura and
It's so
pushing
crazy,
him to
dude.
the 5th round, they sabotaged his pay.
That is true. In the top 10, at least, you're guaranteed around 40 million. Cameron, I think, got 48 as the number 1 pick in the draft. 48 for like 4 years or something like that. Shadura Sanders, which I did see his contract, more or less he's going to be paid around $4 million, $4 to $5 million for like a 3-4 year contract. So he's going to get paid less than $1 million per year. Now remember, Shadura Sanders is a guy that is already a millionaire. He was born a millionaire. You know, money's not really a factor here for him. All right. Cameron, not the case. This is money that he literally earned as a 0-star recruit coming out of high school. Shadura Sanders, on the other hand, he's making the argument that Shadura missed out on $40 million. He missed out on all this money. What a shame that the white man is only giving him $4 million to play football.
He may get a $4-5 million pick.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, not a big deal, Art. Why? He already has an NIL deal. His father just signed a nice contract.
But it's the
They
slave
had
owners.
no right
But it's the slave owners, bro. It's the slave owners.
to embarrass and humiliate and sabotage the Sanders
Now, here's
family.
where it gets wild.
This is wrong. And whether it's Shannon Sharp or Carmelo Anthony or Shadura Sanders, an attack on any black man is an attack on every black man. This was wrong.
Did you hear that though? Did you hear what he just said? Carmelo Anthony, George Floyd, any attack on any black man is an attack on all black men. Tribalism, right? And when I was on Fatty's channel on his debate, I stated this in group preference when they were saying, are white people racist? In fact, white people have the least when it comes to in-group preferences. That the majority of white people would actually prefer or are okay with being around minorities, even black people. However, black people, when you look at their in-group preferences on these studies, they prefer strictly to be around other black people and not around white people. But yet they want to be in this country with white people. Makes totally bullshit sense, of course. But this is what it is. And he stated that, right? He just said it right now. An attack on any black man, even if he's a criminal, is an attack on all black men.
An attack on any black man is an attack on every black man.
Fucking
this was
crazy,
wrong.
dude.
And I'm hoping that Dion and Shador, I'm hoping
that is true
Dion
too.
and Shador will sue the NFL
They're going to sue him?
for racial discrimination and collusion against Shador on
Racial discrimination on race. I think it was like 25, 26 of this year's draft. Players that got off the board were blacks. And he's saying, Dion, sue them for racial discrimination. Do you see how retarded this guy is, dude? I mean, this is amazing, man.
Do not let this go, Dion. Do not let this go, Shador. Do not let this go. Because guess what, Art? What better karma could Shador get from this than to sue the NFL and get all $40+ million back that they robbed from him on draft day? Think about it, Art.
They robbed him. They robbed him of the $40 million on draft day. Dude, what the hell are you talking about? This is the entitlement right here, right? These blacks are like, you're entitled. Shador is entitled to that $40 million that he would have got if he was at least in the top 10. Instead, he went in the 5th round. He's going to get $5 million, $4 million, right? This is lunacy, bro. And then he says, well, they're not starving. They're good. But let's sue them for that money anyways, because they robbed you of the 40, because these teams didn't want Shadura Sanders on their team. These owners didn't want him in the 1st round. They didn't want him in the 2nd round, because you don't draft a good backup quarterback in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. Maybe the 4th. Maybe the 4th. For sure the 5th. That's reasonable. But he wants to make it racial discrimination. And let's get back that money.
If he sues and
so
wins,
fucking dumb.
He will get all of the $40+ million they robbed from him on draft day, plus a whole lot more.
It's cringe.
And he can change the rules to make sure this never happens again. I know.
What rule would you change on that? I'm curious. What rule? Now there's a rule to where what you have to draft a black person in the first 3 picks. Like, what's the rule so that we don't see this happening again in his fucking mind? This is crazy.
He don't want to do that. I know Deion Sanders is not
fucking
the
stupid,
activist
this guy is
athlete
so stupid.
that Muhammad Ali or Colin Kaepernick were. I understand that. But Deion, you might got to go RBG on this one. You might got to go straight Black Panther on this one, because what they did to your son was unacceptable. And Deion was quoted. Somebody said, maybe this was God's will or something to that effect. And Deion Sanders said, this wasn't God. This was nothing but the devil. This wasn't God. This was nothing but the devil.
This was the devil. The devil made my son go in the 5th round and not in the fucking top 10. It was the devil that did it. This is so fucking stupid, man. First off, football is entertainment, purely entertainment. It's tribalism too. All right, I'll admit, I'm a tribalist when it comes to my Titans. What the fuck is this, dude? This is so stupid. So they drafted the wrong black guy first, so they are racist. Yeah, this is just entitlement cult, bro. Exactly. They drafted. Cameron Ward was not the correct black man. So now it's racism. Cameron Ward, right? A young kid, 0-star recruit, fucking dominated college football, has the record for the most touchdown passes in NCAA history. That kid shouldn't have been first overall. Should have been Deion Sanders' son, Shadura Sanders. This is lunacy, bro. Lunacy, man. My son got drafted in the 5th round because of the devil. The devil made it happen. Oh my God. I've never seen that tweet from Deion Sanders, but if he said, no, it wasn't a grace from God, it was the devil that did this to me, that's insane, because Deion has always he's always been a guy that says, God first, Jesus first. I've heard him say this many times, and I like Deion, but pride comes before the fall. If Deion said this, he is so prideful in his name that he's willing to blame the devil for the draft downfall of his son. It's not about where you start in the NFL, but it's how you end. You can get drafted in the 6th round, but if you have the talent, you'll earn the contract later. It's not about where you're drafted. Who cares?
Deion Sanders is the only human being that I'm aware of to have played in the World Series of Baseball and the Super Bowl of the NFL. He won 2 rings.
Irrelevant.
He won one of those rings for the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. And yet the owner of the Dallas Cowboys didn't see fit to speak up and speak out about one of his players, former players, who won him a Super Bowl. But that's neither here or there.
Bro,
this shows
so
Black America art that white folks always stick together when they feel like their power is
Oh my God,
See,
dude.
they never got a chance. They never got a chance to punish Deion as a player. Deion was his own man.
What?
He said how he felt. He did what he wanted to do. He survived the plantation. What was so sad and classless
crazy, bro.
about
he survived
this art?
Plantation. I forgot the NFL body count was through the roof. Yeah, the NFL body count is just through the roof, man. They're just fucking throwing it. Yeah, they were all deleted at the plant, right? The plantation. But Deion survived, and now he wants his son to go to the plantation, right? He wants his son to go to the slave plantation. This is fucking crazy, dude. Like I said before, the Shadura Sanders race baiting, these NFL owners don't give a shit what color you are. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, purple, green, Jewish, whatever. As long as you're winning football games for them, they don't care. And the fans, for the most part, don't even care. Ray Lewis got accused of murdering 2 people, then led the Ravens to the Super Bowl and won. And he's glorified over there in Baltimore. For the most part, they don't care. They don't give a shit. There's been plenty of players that have shaky backgrounds. But if you're fucking going to win a Super Bowl for us, you're going to take us to the playoffs, and you're contributing to that, for the most part, NFL owners, coaches, fans don't really give a shit. They don't really give a shit. It's the ultimate when it comes to skill, earning your position, earning your money. That's what the NFL is.